Hey, hey, good morning, beautifuls. It's me again. Second day of 2020. Um, I just got out of the shower, trying to clean my face, and before that, I was actually chasing my dog. She's a naughty one. She broke the chain and she was just getting brave. She was running across the street and yeah, stressful. Got her back in the house now. She's in the kennel, so you might hear her cry, just so you know. Um, well, again, I thought I'd do our morning get together, makeup session slash girl talk. Because I didn't quite finish where I left off. Yesterday, or was it the day before? I think it was the day before. Um, about the spiritual awakening, about mental health, about a lot of different things that we talked about. So again, I did not plan anything. I didn't want this conversation to be any rehearsed, just because then it isn't natural anymore. It's not from the heart. Not that it's not from the heart anytime. It's just it's something I think I do better free flowing. So I think we left off a little bit around the topic of self-love. So this morning I actually took some time to do some yoga. That's one commitment that I committed to myself. Getting more active and moving to kind of do something different to maybe give me more energy, more positivity, that kind of stuff. But basically what I committed to was it's a 30-day yoga challenge, which means every day for the next 30 days I would be doing yoga. I had done yoga before, but not like 30 days worth of yoga. I'm definitely not very flexible person. I did it this morning. It was kind of different. I felt like parts of my body are stretched that I never really used to stretch it. And then actually felt kind of good. Sore, but good. But then the problem is, after I was done, I felt like super nauseous. I guess it's normal because your body is trying to get rid of all the toxins. So then that's why I decided to take a shower, because I was hoping that maybe that will make me feel better. But I'm not sure if it did, because I still feel nauseous. Like my gastric is still not feeling the best. But we'll see how the day goes. It's just too much going on anyway for the past couple weeks with Christmas and then New Year's, and then the kids were home, and then I haven't been getting enough sleep. I haven't been able to sleep very well at night, and that's the other thing that I have trouble with. But talking about self-love, I see what I just described. We do so much for everybody, but we don't do much for ourselves, and that's not, it's not that it's not good, it's just not healthy. You should be doing stuff for yourself and others, but mostly yourself, because when you do you're taking care of yourself, and self-love is so important. That was one of the biggest thing that I've learned through my last month, is really thinking about, okay, what do I want? I'm not sure if anybody's been through this, but like where you kind of feel like you have gotten to a point in your life where you do have a lot of things and you're grateful for it, but you are just going with the motion. You're not really living the life per se in the way you want to live your life, and it's because it's kind of like what everybody else is doing, like what society has told you to live your life, or give you the perception of how life should be lived. But in reality, you don't really know what you want. I feel like I've asked myself a lot of times this question, like, what is the purpose of my life? Not because I don't find purpose in it, but like, what does Helena wants? What makes Helena happy? Not what society defines that for her, but how does she define happiness for herself? What does that mean for her? What does it mean for her family? What does it mean for her children? What does it mean for her life in general? I think that's a very good question to ask yourself, because I was very surprised that for someone who knows exactly what she wants, I was faced with this question because of this. I told you, this emotional breakdown that I'm going through, or I've been through. I am going through still. Is that I had to define for myself, or find a different definition and a true, authentic definition of what that is for me. And so I am doing it day by day, girl. I'm doing it day by day. I'm doing it by doing this. This helps. It really does help with some release of stress, or just like just sharing with the world, not covering or not hiding behind something you're not, you're not, and you just let the world see who you really are. Raw and real, and I think that's a gift, because how many people in your life truly get a chance to see who you are? I don't think my mom even know who I am, because she doesn't take the time to do that. Because of life, because of distance, people, friends. I think everybody still keep a certain amount of something, whatever it is, something, a certain amount of something to themselves, because that's just human beings. We just do that. We always keep a certain amount of something to ourselves, because it's sacred to us, and sometimes we do that even with our spouses. Like, we don't even reveal a lot of ourselves to our spouses. And we talk about intimacy, and really wanting that intimacy, you need to not have that. It's easy to say, hard to do, right? But reality. Anyway, self-love, guys, really is taking the time to take care of yourself. That's not what I mean. It's not like, okay, let's go take a shower, let's freshen up, let's change new clothes. Well, I mean that too, but I think really taking the time to digest yourself, like who you are, what do you want, what makes you happy, what is the definition of happiness for you. What does that mean? What do you what would you like to do today, every day, to make you feel whole, to make you feel like yourself? Because what I really would like Her Empowered Life to really target the audience is people who are like me. You have a career, you have a home, you have a healthy children, you have material things, you have a awesome husband, an awesome husband, you have everything that people want. You do, and I am very grateful for it. I am really, really grateful for it. But then there's still this emptiness that you feel, that it's kind of like an itch that you can't scratch, you know. And people turn to things for to fill that gap, to fill that void, you know. They make, you know, they do everything they possibly can to chase after things, the next new car, the bigger new house, the next trendy thing that is on the market, the what your neighbors has, you know, things that can easily be bought, or easily, well, maybe not easily, I mean, you have to work hard for it, but things. But end of the day, you still have to take a look at yourself and figure out who you really are at the end of that. When you are without makeup, when you are alone by yourself, what does those things do for you? Like, how do they define you? Because you realize that those things can go away in an instant, and you have to find it within yourself to be able to say who you are and what you want and what makes you happy. So really, my goal for 2020, I'm gonna tell you many days different things that I'm focusing on. My goal is to define for myself what happiness is, not by what culture has defined for me, or how things have defined for me, but truly what I think happiness is for me. Because only then I will be able to be content in myself, and not be content in things that supposedly define who I am. That's what really is the lie of society, you know, is that we are all these things, but we really aren't, because they don't really define who we are. Because end of the day, we are not that purse, we are not that car, we are not that house, we are not our children, we are not our marriage. We are who we came to earth to be, and that's what we have to define for ourselves. And you know, I have tried it. I have tried going to work every day and just block that question. I've tried to be busy. I've tried to fill my house with things. I've tried blocking it by ignoring it. I've tried to find it through the busyness of my life. But what I found is that it does not work. It really doesn't work. You can't be busy for your life, for work, for anything, and expect to find answers. Because you know what? The answers really come when you're still. Answers really come when you put yourself first. Answers really come when you set the intent. in the right place and being still and really taking the time to self-love and to reflect. That is self-love, in my opinion, from my journey. And I'm just telling you like it is, how it works for me. And I know many of you having the same struggles, especially when you are a career woman. You go out there, you be the leader, you be the mom, you are always put together. You're always looking nice, you're always taking care of everybody, you're always commanding your chair, whatever it is, whether you be a mom or whether you be at work. But that's all just a facade, because at the end of the day, when you are stripped of all those titles, you need to know who you are, because you might go broke one day, or you might not. Your kids will leave you one day because they're gonna have their own family. You are going to retire someday, or not work someday. You are going to get to a point where you do have to look in the mirror and face yourself. And I think a lot of unhappiness comes from comparing yourself with other people. For one, it's because you don't feel comfortable with who you are. You don't feel confident. You feel like you need someone else to set the status quo to define you. And I think that's a false perception of reality. Because who says you have to be a certain way? Who says that you have to be this size? Who says you can't eat this or that? Who says you can't behave like this? Who says you can't act like that, or say things, or not look like perfect and be on camera, for example? I mean, who sets the rules? Is there a rule book that says something that you have to be a certain way, or did we just define ourselves? For those of you who do not know me, I'm Helena Larson. I'm a life coach, spiritual coach, motivator, really trying to help individuals like myself, like you, get to the next level. Take away some of the false perception that you have of yourself that you have accumulated over the years. Basically putting on roadblocks that you have set for yourself, society has set for you. And in order for you to unstuck yourself, to unblock yourself, is to change your mindset, to change your perception. And that's what I am here to do, to challenge you. And I hope this morning's little talk that we are having right now would kind of cause you to think a little bit around your perception of yourself, or what you think is real and what is real to you. There's no rule book. No one can there are a lot of books on self-love, self-motivation, blah blah, whatever it is, but no one can define self-love than you can, because self-love is your own definition. It's no book's definition, not my definition for you. Self-love is your own definition for yourself. And in order for you to do that, you need to have the self-love to take the time to define that for you. Will you come up with an answer within 2 hours? No, it does not happen. Okay. I have been in this spiritual journey for 8 years, and we as human beings evolve. Even as parents we evolve, even in marriages we evolve, even as a human being we evolve. We would constantly have to redefine what that self-love means as we progress in our life, in our spiritual journey, in our maturity, in our perception, in our worldview, in our experiences. It's going to continually change, and you will never this is what I would speak for myself. What was enough 5 years ago is not enough for me now. And what's gonna be enough for me 5 years from now is not going to be what it is right now. So it is up to you to take the time to define that for yourself. And for me, it's just as simple as when I'm putting on my makeup, I have conversations like we are having right now within myself sometimes, and now I'm inviting you to have that conversation with me. Every day I'm defining that for me. Every day I am challenging myself to do something different, because difference means change. You know, you can expect to do every single day the same and expect a different result, because that's the definition of insanity. So I don't want to be insane, and I want my efforts to go somewhere. And so I challenge you gals today, take the time to really reflect upon what self-love means to you and yourself. And I would really love to hear some feedback about what you have pondered and thought about, the change you want to make, what self-love means to you. I would love to hear it from you. And if you are interested in just having a session with me to overcome some of your roadblock to unstuck your life, please feel free to shoot me an email. I will have it on the link below. Check out my website. It is in the midst of rebranding and revamping right now, so you might not see a lot, but definitely shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you. I would love to be your motivator, your life coach, your spiritual coach, whatever it is, to be there on your journey to your success too. So until we meet again tomorrow, hopefully, take some time for yourself, because you deserve it. All right. Talk to you later.